Welcome back to Playground Sessions YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down how to play the main theme song from The Office. 1, 2, set, go. Now I'm going to break this down for you by first boiling it down to its essence. We'll just be looking at that intro, by the way. And then I'll talk about how we add difficulty and get up to this kind of advanced level arrangement that we see here. By the way, this arrangement can be found in our interactive app, and we're doing a free trial right now where you can try the app for free for 30 days. Tap that card above if you want to learn more about that. But let's dive in. So first I'm going to talk about the chord progression we see here and the harmony that we are outlining by this part, okay? That's G major, that's our first chord. Could be here or here. So for now, I'll just double the hands. Our next chord is B minor. But we have an inversion of that B minor written in the notation. And I think that's better because we have to move much less from our first G to this inversion of a B minor chord. All we're doing is changing the bottom note of G, moving down to F sharp, which is the fifth of the B minor chord. Now, next up, we have an E minor chord. And the E minor chord here will also play in an inversion. We can do it in first inversion, which means the B from the last chord stays the same. And in fact, this is only one note off from our first G major chord, right? So now we're playing E minor in first inversion. And our final chord is C major. Again, we'll put it in an inversion where we can keep common tones the same between chords. So C actually has this G and this E. All we need to do is move the B up to C. There's our second inversion C major triad. So to recap, we have G major, we have second inversion B minor, we have first inversion E minor, and second inversion C major. And let's just repeat that a few times. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now, at the end of the progression here, when we're on our C chord, we actually see a little bit of a break from this chord pattern. Now we have a little bit of a single note thing. That little part of the melody, and I'll break that down now. At the very end, we have just the top two notes of our C chord, so just the C and the E. We do that 3 times in a row, and then we have these 3 16th notes to end it. 2 on B, 1 on A, and 2 back to B. So we have... Now, you can also see some rhythms spread throughout the rest of this stuff too. It's not just chords, right? But that is the essence. We first want to boil it down to what are the chords, what are the inversions or the voicings that we're using to play it, and then we can start to add some rhythm. But first now, let me go ahead and add our left hand in. We got to get these roots or bass notes in to support what's happening in the chords in the right hand. There are 4 notes and we can basically stay in the same position here. We're going to put our 4th finger on G, 2 on B, 5 on E, 1 on C. Now we're not going to play it like a chord like this, although that is kind of a cool chord. This is just the shape we're going to be in. We'll play each note individually. So first we'll start with G, then we go to B, then down to E, and up to C. The second half is the same, G, B, E, and C. So now in the right hand, I'll just add the chords. Okay, and then we've got left hand root of G. Now we'll go to B minor, left hand root of B. Now to E minor, left hand root of E. And then to C major, left hand thumb on C. And I want you guys to just do that with me a few times. Ready? G, 2, 3, 4. B minor, 3, 4. E minor, 3, 4. And C. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. B minor, E minor, and C. Okay, now it's time to start adding some rhythm into that right hand. In order to play this successfully with even timing and accurate rhythms, I suggest we subdivide by 16th notes. And we see our first chord in the right hand is split up into some rhythms, and we see quite a bit of 16th notes. We have to figure out how many 16th note beats go into each one of the notes we see here. For a 16th note, that's easy, it just gets 1. For an 8th note, it gets 2, right? For a half note, it gets a lot more. So that's what we're going to do now, subdivide by 16th notes to make sure we're doing all of this accurately. And in order to do that, we're going to put a syllable to every single 16th note beat. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Let's now see how this right hand chord, our first chord of G major, looks when we do that subdivision. 1 E and 2 E and. And guys, that's actually the rhythm that goes through most of these chords. We have 16th note, 16th note, 8th note, which gets 2 16ths, and then tied to another 8th note, which gets 2 more 16ths. Then we have just 2 more 16th notes left. We'll do 1 more of each. And that's it. Then we do the same thing on the next chord shape. Let's put this whole measure together. Ready? 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. In the next measure, we'll do the same thing with our E minor chord. 1 E and 2 E and. But now when we get to the C major chord, things change just a bit. Remember, we already went over this. We're going to take our C chord shape, but we're not going to play our low thumb. We're just going to play the top 2. We're going to do that 3 times, and then move into these 16th notes. So again, that goes. Let me put the whole first and second measure together for you now with both hands. Okay, let's get in position. We'll start with G in the left hand. 1 E and 2 E and. Now moving to B minor. 3 E and 4 E and. 1 E and 2 E and. Now the last bit of this phrase. 4 E and. Now the next 2 measures are exactly the same. Why don't I demo this for you now at full tempo, and then I'll have you practice this. 1, 2, set, go. Once again, guys, we've got this song in all difficulty levels and a ton of other music in our interactive app. And of course, that means it grades you as you play. It's pretty awesome. If you haven't done it yet, hit that card that now says, "What are you waiting for?" That's going to teach you about the free trial we're offering. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Hope you guys hit subscribe, and I hope I see you for the next video lesson.
The features you saw on screen today can be at your fingertips with the Playground Sessions app. Co-created by music legend Quincy Jones, Playground teaches the piano with interactive feedback and gaming features, all while using your favorite songs. Alright guys, I'm Phil. Hit subscribe so I can see you for the next video.